Welcome to the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Learn more about the Experience community by pointing your browser to local.theexperience.video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Experience is brought to you each week by these great sponsors. The Aspects of Aging, weekly talk show with Christine A. Smith, unscripted conversations with experts, AgingBetterNetwork.com. Nancy Bakke and Best Entrepreneur Solutions. Transform your business's profit potential with proven strategies and tactics. BestEntrepreneurSolutions.com. Perspectives on Cancer. In-person event on October 5th and 6th in New York City, which brings together cancer patients, survivors, and supporters to share their stories, be inspired and supported by others in a safe space. The theme for the event is education and inspiration for healing, hope, and resilience. PerspectivesOnCancer.com. And now, your hosts for the Experience Live, Russ and Scott.
Hey, here we are. We're really here. It's Russ and Scott on the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. We're here every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. And Scott, how's it going, buddy?
Well, it's a fabulous Wednesday morning because I get to hang out with Russ, and doesn't get better than that. Nope, it does, because we've got Amanda and Tim today. I love this: healing, hope, and resilience.
Yeah, it is such an amazing, amazing community. Perspectives on Cancer and just the cancer community in general has been such a blessing to me, to Tim, to Amanda, to all of our friends who are going through this. And it's also amazing for people that are supporting people and caregiving for others going through that. It's quite a journey. Let me tell you, I have firsthand experience on that. And so we really need each other. And as I always say, Scott, we're better together. And in this case, it really, really applies.
It really does. We often talk about businesses and business owners. We talk to a lot of entrepreneurs here on the show, and we talk about surrounding yourself with those who will not let you fail, and that you need to have people that understand what you're going through as an entrepreneur. Well, obviously the same thing is true on any cancer journey, whether you're the patient, the family member, that close friend. You need to be surrounded with people who really understand, because you've gone through infusions, you've gone through radiation. I have friends that have done that. And I was able to learn more about what you were going to go through because I talked to a friend who went through that.
Yeah. Well, I think it is so true. Even if, really, when everybody gets into this whole journey, let's face it, you really don't know what's going on. You're trying to figure everything out, and you're doing exactly what you said. You're relying on friends and people that are ahead of you in the process. I've been blessed with so many great friends. I talk about Terry Tucker all the time. My good friend who had the same invasive melanoma that I had has gone through the process just years before me and is still going through it. Those kind of things really help give you some peace. Scott, I'm a man of God and just a man of faith. And I believe God is forefront in this whole process. He is, as my good friend Willie J would say, God is paramount in all that's going on. But you know what? You need people here around you too. You need that community. So, we're going to talk about that in the upcoming, one of our sponsors this month is Perspectives on Cancer.
Absolutely.
And the live conference coming up here on the 5th and 6th of October. It's less than 2 weeks away. I can't believe it. We're going to be in New York, but I'm going to let them talk more about that. But anyway, we're going to start off first by telling you, don't forget that we're here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. This does go live then, but then it also sits on all the platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook forever. forever and ever, and you can go back and watch it and share it and comment and connect with people forever. And then that's a good reason why you want to basically sign up for our YouTube page, because it is where you can make sure you see everything in one place. I mean, all the different medias that we broadcast on are great, but I'm telling you, YouTube is just a great place to go. So that one's an easy one. The experience.video is how you get directly to our YouTube page. But there's one even better than that, and that is local.theexperience.video, where you can find out tons more about Scott and I and go to our YouTube pages all in one spot. So I would recommend that you do that today. Join and subscribe to our YouTube page, and you'll be glad you did it, because then you go back see Amanda and Tim later, right?
Well, and I'll tell you, go to the experience.video. That'll take you right to the YouTube channel. 200 right now, over 280 videos there. And they're with great people, well, like Amanda and Tim. These conversations continue to live on. And so you can go back and you can think, man, who was it that I talked? Search through it. You'll find what you want. Absolute treasure trove, not because of Russ and I, but because of our guests.
We hope we play a little teeny part in it, but we have amazing guests like Amanda, who's about to come on. And, you know, I am so blessed that at the Perspectives on Cancer conference, I'll be speaking there on hope. And Amanda is our keynote speaker. So she is the queen of the weekend. And so she is really leading the charge. I'm just going to listen and learn from her and then go after. So anyway, she's amazing.
Maybe we get a little sneak peek into that keynote.
There we go. Let's bring her on. What do you think?
Let's go.
Look at that smile. There she is. Woohoo. Hey, Amanda.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. We are so good. Yeah, you know, it is such a blessing. Such a blessing. You know, you and I are just getting to know each other, but I'm so excited to meet you in person. Last year, you know, there were so many people, including Tim, who will be on here in a little bit, that I had met in person, or as Scott would say, 3D for the first time. People that I knew amazingly well and had great friendships with, but had never been in the same room with. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be a hug fest with everybody, I'm sure. But anyway, we're so glad to have you here, Amanda. Why don't we start off by you just giving everybody a little snippet. Who is Amanda? What are you up to? What are you all about? And what are you going through currently?
Yeah, so my name's Amanda Ferraro. I'm a 2-time AML leukemia survivor and a stem cell transplant recipient. I also have Lee-Fraumeni syndrome. That I have the TP53 genetic mutation. Apparently mine is super rare. It's not in any medical journals or any reports or anything. So working with a scientific oncologist to figure out where that came from. So that's really cool, because I feel like, you know, maybe I had cancer for a reason. Prior to my cancer diagnosis, I've actually had 7 brain surgeries for an inoperable cyst on my cerebellum. So I've been through it. My sister had brain cancer when she was 6 years old. My aunt had Ewing sarcoma. I've had family members gone through cancer, and I've seen them all go through it. And then I went through it as a patient. I found my peace in faith when I was going through cancer. And I feel like through what I went through, I found my purpose. So it really has come full circle for me. I found my voice with cancer. I started like a Facebook page just for family and friends. Then it kind of got bigger and people were sharing and asking for prayers. And I started to talk to cancer patients who were in the hospital with me. And then doctors could kind of share it because it was like a live forum and it was like on Facebook, so it was public. And I really started having people come to me and just thanking me for sharing my voice and sharing, you know, what I was going through, and just being very raw and real and not hiding what cancer looked like. There's no gray area in what I'm talking about. I am very black and white, although cancer is not. I am very fact and to the point. This is what I'm going through. This is what it is. I'm not going to hide it. I'm just going to tell you. And through that, I've met so many amazing, wonderful people. And then I started writing blogs and publishing articles in different publications. And I really found that patient advocacy was where I was supposed to be. And through everything I've been through in my life, the 7 brain surgeries, being hit, breaking my back, and all the things that I've been through in my life, I felt like God put me here, and this is what I'm supposed to do, and this is where I'm supposed to be. So currently working on board certification, motivational speaker. I love writing, freelance writing, so publishing articles, writing books. I'm a co-author with Tim on the second book that he has published, which is absolutely amazing. You can go find it on Amazon. It was #1 in oncology for a few weeks, and that just, made my heart so happy. But I'll be keynote speaking on October 5th, and I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited to see all of my friends in one room and join Tim and you, Russ, and
Yeah.
there's going to be so many amazing stories. And although I'm giving the keynote, there's going to be so many amazing speakers in that room. Yeah. There's going to be lots of tears, lots of happiness, lots of hope and resilience and faith. And it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Scott, let me jump in here and just say that, first of all, I was also blessed to be with you and Tim in that second book. I have had so many opportunities. The last year I was able to write 4 anthology collaborative books that were international bestsellers, #1 on Amazon, be able to give my cancer story and other parts of my life. And I am with you 100%. God has, this has happened to me for a purpose, and God has utilized this going on in my life to touch and really encourage other people. And so I hear you 100%. Scott, before we get...
Well, I was just going to say, this is a good point to bring in Tim, because
that's what I was going to do.
Because he has also found purpose, and the conference is just one example.
Yeah, no, I agree. And there he is, Mr. Tim Sohn, the man, the legend, the screaming goat. He's there. Come on, let me see it, Tim. Come on, you got to be ready. There you go. All right. Well, Tim, just take it away, my friend. You know what? You're just an amazing man. Go for it.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It is such an honor and a privilege to be here with you, Scott and Russ and Amanda, 3 of my most favorite people in the world. And I'm Tim Sohn. I am a 17+ year chronic myeloid leukemia survivor. My cancer journey has been 15 years in leukemia, a year and a half not in leukemia, and then back in leukemia in a little amount, and then recently in a larger amount. So in a nutshell, that's my story. And I started sharing my story in June of 2021 and created the show Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer in November of 2021. So it will be 3 years in less than 2 months of Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer, where we have conversations with people like Amanda and Russ and all the people that are cancer patients, survivors, and supporters who want to share their story in a safe space. It's a very supportive community of people who show up from all around the world. The show right now is on Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then kind of an out branch of that was the Perspectives on Cancer book series. There's now 2 Perspectives on Cancer books, of which Amanda is in and Russ is in, and they are books that provide stories of healing, hope, and resilience from cancer patients, survivors, and supporters, very much like the show. And same idea, also of letting people know they're not alone and encouraging people to share their stories, like providing a ripple effect. If I share my story, or Amanda shares their story, or Russ shares their story, or Scott shares their story, that is going to encourage some other people to share their stories, which will help other people because they will learn from other people. They'll become friends with other people. They'll relate to other people, and it'll be all good.
And I want you to expand a little bit about how you got to this point with the books and the show and the live event that's coming up, because I first met you through the Tim and Jim show.
Yes.
So I'm just thinking that these experiences brought you the skills of building community. Tell us about that journey.
Yeah, so the Tim and Jim show was a show that I co-hosted with my great friend Jim Fuse, which is how I connected with Scott and Russ originally. And we did that show for 5 years. That show was all about small business. We had guests on talking about everything from marketing to fitness to finance to really anything small business related. And so doing that show, hosting that show, and also me and Jim took turns producing the show every week, gave me the skills both to host a show, but also to produce a show. Know how to bring guests on the screen and graphics on the screen and recorded videos and all those different things. So that show really provided the skill set for me to create Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer. Without that show, who knows what would be going on right now.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you first, and I'm going to jump to Amanda here next, but it was very interesting. The first time I was on that show, I had never talked to you before, Tim. And so I'm thinking, I don't know what I think about this Tim guy, but we ended up being just amazing friends. And so I'm just kidding you. You were awesome. And so it was so good. But, Amanda, I think that people being willing, like Tim, when he spoke out and really, really spoke about his cancer, and then started Perspectives on Cancer, I really felt God speaking to me and telling me I was to share with people that I wasn't supposed to hibernate and isolate, but I was supposed to reach out to community, because, there comes a time when we can help a lot of people, but there also comes a time when we need help, right? So it's a two-way street. And that's what I love about it. Go ahead and speak to that, Amanda.
Yeah, I feel that, it's not a one-way street. So I always like to say there are so many gray areas within cancer. I mean, we all have different journeys, whether we have the same cancer or not. Everyone's individual. We all have our own fingerprints. Our bodies are all very different, and there's no one size fits all when it comes to cancer. But a lot of the time, there's people that don't know there is a community out there, or is afraid of what they're going through, and they are not, talking about it, or they don't know how to speak with their family about it, or they don't know what to say, or they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and they keep it to themselves. And those are the people who usually end up, having a lot of anxiety, or, having issues with their treatment, or, people that aren't able to kind of speak about it and get what they're feeling off of their chest. I love Perspective Showing Up, because you can be a guest on the show and you can talk and you can share your experience, but also you can sit there and you can listen to other people share their experience, and you can find so many similarities in the differences. And what I mean by that is, we're all cancer patients. We all struggle. We all, have PTSD and some anxiety, and, maybe some treatment scanxiety. And there are so many different similarities that you can find. I found Shannon, which is a co-host for the Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer. I didn't know her before Showing Up, and I just found friendship in her, just because hearing her story and our similarities, and finding that, peace for both of us, that is like, we love sharing about it because we connect with so many more people. And it really is connection that you find. The cancer community is unlike any other community out there. There's just so much love. We
Yeah.
help one another. We, come to one another's feet, and, just like God, worshiping one another. I think cancer patients and survivors really are, it's just wholesome. We're a wholesome community. We will do whatever we can for one another. We will share each other's stories. We will help each other out. I have found so many other people who share my story and share articles, and they're like, you helped me go through that. And I'm like, that's so amazing. And then I share, like anxiety with them, and they're like, wow, I didn't know that you had anxiety. I wouldn't be able to tell. And I'm like, yeah, just because I'm not saying it, I do feel that. And it just because like I'm a speaker, or I do this, or have this platform or this website, like I'm still a person, I'm still a human, and I still have daily battles. And I love that about being able to speak. People know me so well, but they know that I have anxiety. They know that I'm dealing with that, and I feel so peaceful being able to share that, because I know that other people are feeling the same way. And you might have one person who is like, oh, maybe she's just saying that, or, there's always somebody in the bunch who doesn't agree. But 99% of the time, people will feel exactly what you're talking about. People will understand what you're saying. And that is the cancer community. It's just so wholesome and wonderful, and just so the togetherness.
And I'm glad that you talked about the speaking, because you're going to be the keynote speaker coming up at the live event. And Tim, I want you to go into about how people can be involved, because this is a practical thing. How do people participate, show up? What's the guest list? Is this invite only? Expand.
Yeah, absolutely. So the event is October 5th and 6th in New York City. Anybody can come. They could go to perspectivesoncancer.com to find the link to come. If they would like a complimentary ticket, I have a few complimentary tickets available if they don't have the resources. I don't want money to hold people back from coming. So please reach out if I can be helpful in that way. We have an amazing lineup of speakers. You guys can see why Amanda is the keynote speaker, because she entirely represents what showing up is about. We are incredibly vulnerable on that show, and we want people to, whether it's the show or in person or in books, to feel comfortable to share their stories, and then be able to receive that love and support from other people as an effect of sharing their stories. But at the event, other speakers we have are Russ Hedge, the amazing Russ Hedge, is going to be speaking about hope, like he said. Branwen Lee is going to be speaking about healing. She is a breast cancer survivor. She's been a guest on the show also. And you guys can find all of the shows with these people, if you want to get a little teaser into them beyond this, on our YouTube channel, if you just search for Perspectives on Cancer. Also, Erica Newbert Campbell, who used to be my co-host on the show, is going to be speaking about resilience. She's a breast cancer survivor also, and she just wrote a book called The Mastectomy I Always Wanted. And I love Erica's energy and authenticity, vulnerability. That's going to be amazing. We also have Dr. Parul Dua, and she's going to be talking about her brother's cancer journey. He passed away of oral cancer, and she's a dentist. So she'll be sharing from the cancer supporter perspective. And then we will have the 125th episode of Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer live, with a live audience at the in-person event, which will also be live streamed. And our guest is Rochelle Prosser. She's a cancer supporter. Both her husband and son have had cancer. They're both cancer survivors. She also brings the perspective of a nurse and other professional perspectives as well, multiple perspectives. So I'm really excited to have her do that. Also, we're going to have fun. We are going to play games in between. And I am not going to give away what they are, but they are always a blast. And
Yes.
we'll also be sharing our stories in small groups together in person, which is always really good because we can help each other in person, like right there. Like you guys are going to be like right there in a few days.
And who was the most enthusiastic game player last year, I think? Who won a prize last year? Come on. I mean, I was having fun. When nobody else wanted to run up there, I know it's shocking that I would be enthusiastic, right? But
perspectives on cancer, healing, hope, and resilience. That's the theme. And hope, right there with Russ. No, everybody knows he is the most infectious. And in fact, when he wasn't on the show, we had to have a little substitute for Russ. And I'm letting him cue it up right here.
You're like you're getting all ready.
I'm serving this little meatball of a softball pitch for
because we want to have fun, right? There we go. That was my the co-host replacement. Guest host was Scott. It was Kermie. But yeah, no, I tell you, I need to go back and say one thing to what you were talking about, Tim, and then I'm going to throw it to Amanda. And we're going to go a few minutes over today, but I think that people don't realize, and you spoke to this, Tim, about Rochelle. People don't realize how hard it is on families and supporters. I think sometimes it's harder on my beautiful wife and family than it is on me. And so it's a tough thing going through all that and the uncertainty of where you are. And when you sit in and listen to the doctor and they're not giving you really good odds, in fact, when my doctor talked to me, odds weren't really great. And I said, well, you know what? Thank you. I love my doctors at OHSU. They're amazing. But I said, it's a good thing that I have a big God and I have faith that he will do a big miracle and that amazing things are going to happen. I believe that. And my doctors are always telling me, whether they're believers or not, hang on to that, because you know what? Your positive attitude and your belief and your faith is the best thing that you could hold on to. All the things the doctors can do could not surpass positive attitude and faith. And so, Amanda, I'm sure with all of the stuff you've been through, your family's been through it right there with you, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. My son was 3 when I was diagnosed with cancer. So yeah, we've been through it.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too, because you don't look old enough to have a son. I mean that as a compliment, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But no, it is, I don't know. We could have an entire show on that, but it is, it's tough, and I have a positive attitude, and I tell everybody, keep that good perspective, right? In fact, the theme of my talk in New York is going to be the power of perspective, living with hope, right? Living with hope. And so when you do that, it's amazing how that changes your life. And Tim, I want to wrap things up here with you, and then I'm going to give you both a last chance to talk before we wrap it up. But I just want to make sure that we've really let people know why they should be there in New York, or at least why they should be part of this whole movement, even if they don't personally have cancer. I'm always speaking to people. We are all, Amanda alluded to this, we're all going through something, right? We're all going through something. It may not be cancer, maybe another disease, it may be a major family problem, whatever it might be. But why should they be part of this, and why should they be there in New York?
They should attend this amazing event because Amanda Ferraro is going to be there. That's why.
Well, of course. That would be number one, but
yep.
And Russ is going to be there. And also because I really consider this event the start of something. When you attend this event, You are going to become friends with the people that you attend at this event. You are going to keep in touch with them. You are probably going to collaborate with them in some way. It is the start of a journey. You are going to laugh. You're going to cry. You're going to smile. You're going to be silly. You're going to have all the feelings. You might need the puffs, just warning you. But that's okay, because that happens with cancer. But I would say the number one reason is the relationships that you're going to build at the event. And then also you're going to learn from our speakers. We're going to have fun. And it's just a very wholesome, to take Amanda's word from before, experience. It's hard to explain until you're there in person, and Russ can probably explain a little bit as well.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that last year I was, and I'm going to kick this back to Amanda for your last comments, Amanda, just your kind of gold nugget of this conversation, and then your connection information. But before I do that, I want to say that out of cancer last year, we were talking about as a lifelong journey. Even if you have no more disease in your body, if you have, with God's help, beat cancer. And I went through that point just like you, Tim, here in the spring, where they declared me cancer free and everything was great. And I was celebrating and praising God for that. But unfortunately, they found more cancer later in the summer. And unfortunately, it was quite a bit worse. It had gone from just from my foot to my groin, from my groin to the lungs and my brain. So none of that was good. But last year I was dealing with this vestibular issue where my vestibular tubes in my ears were an imbalance, kind of like vertigo. And I was completely all dizzy and very sick, and it was debilitating. I actually walked down the Portland Airport PDX on the way to Scranton, Pennsylvania last year, dizzy and really not sure I was going to make it. And I was just trusting God that it was going to get better. And thank God it did over the weekend. I also had become a brand new type 1 diabetic because it shut down my pancreas. And so I was also dealing with my blood sugar for the first time in my life. And so these are things that come out of the things that we have. And it's not to say woe is me, it's to say we're all dealing with stuff like this. We're all learning. But you know what? When you get together with people, I just want to echo what you said, Tim. My whole life changed on that weekend, and I still keep in touch, and I'm texting so many people all the time, every week from that conference, and have become lifelong friends. So Amanda, I'm going to just kick it to you and let you give us your final comments, your kind of gold nugget of today. And then how does everybody get in touch with you? Because I want you speaking at my event.
Yeah. I think the showing of perspectives on cancer is really about community. Whether you have cancer or a survivor or you are a supporter, we're all coming together because we all have one thing in common, and that is resilience. But resilience against the disease, against the stigma of having cancer, against the gray areas, whatever it is. We're coming together as a community. And I think that's really like a game changer when cancer patients come together. I think it's so amazing because on our own, yes, we're fighting and we're so strong, but together we are a force to be reckoned with.
Amen.
Yeah, so I have Instagram. You can find me at Cancer is an Asshole. I have my own website, and that's cancerisanasshole.com. On Twitter, it's Cancer is an Ass, but I'm sure if you hashtag Cancer is an Asshole, you can find me. Email.
I'm seeing a theme here, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to take a note.
Yeah, there is a theme, trust and believe. But
yeah.
please join us. I'm so excited to be the keynote speaker. There's still time to join, whether you're in New York or the tri-state area. I would love to have you come and join us, whether you are a doctor, a pediatrician, an oncologist, a cancer patient, no matter what kind of cancer it is, a supporter, a survivor. You're more than welcome to come and join and listen in and have so much fun and meet amazing individuals. And, whether you're in a wonderful place or a hard place in life, we'll welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, that's going to be so awesome. And veterinarians are even welcome because
Yeah.
the goat needs a veterinarian. So, and I just want to say that all that information about Amanda and about Tim is in the comments. It'll also be in the show notes. So, Tim, you're up.
Just thank you for having me, Russ and Scott. And I just can't wait. I'm working here behind the scenes, getting everything ready. And please join us. Go to perspectivesoncancer.com, sign up. It's going to be an amazing experience. You're going to leave with new friends that will be able to understand you. You know, I feel like oftentimes people don't understand us as cancer patients or survivors or even supporters. So to be able to have that safe space in person where we can share our stories, where we can relate to each other about different things, where oftentimes we can't do that in an in-person environment, please join us. Please do. And Russ, you better bring your goat.
Oh, yeah, it's coming with me for sure. They're going to stop me in security and say, "Hey, what is that thing in your bag?"
Yeah,
oh, it's just my
he's not going to
screaming goat.
risk checking that, putting it in the checked-in bag. He's going to carry it onto the plane. Tim, quickly to tell us about the books. How do people get a hold of the books?
The books as well, you can go to perspectivesoncancer.com. There's a link there to both books. Collectively, there's 25 stories of healing, hope, and resilience by patients, survivors, and supporters, including Amanda, Russ, and myself, and do the math for however many more. But thank you.
And they're also available on Amazon, by the way, everybody. So,
Yes.
yeah, thank you both so much. We are going to say goodbye to you, but hang tight for just a second in the green room. We'll be there in a second, but what a blessing you both are. And looking forward, I can't wait. It's before you know it, I'll see you guys. So thanks so much.
Thank
Amanda,
you.
Tim, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. You got it. Well, I'm telling you, amazing.
Yep. Healing, hope, and resilience.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing, Scott. Yeah, it's this whole journey is a lot, and this kind of a community is amazing. It really is. So
Again,
there's so often that I'm lifting up and encouraging others, and it's so nice to go somewhere where you also are really encouraged, and it helps. So
yeah, again, surrounding yourself with those who will not let you fail, and being a part of Perspectives on Cancer is a great way to do that. If people can't attend the conference, get the books and share those. Either it's for yourself or someone you know. Send it to them. Send one of the books to them, and maybe keep a few copies around, because you're gonna be affected, and so that's important. And you've got your talk coming up, so it's coming soon. Perspectivesoncancer.com for everybody.
yeah, no, it's going to be great, everybody. We're going to have a lot of fun. We may have cancer or be supporting people with cancer, but we still.
I'm glad you found Kermie.
There you go. And thanks for helping me cue that up too, by the way. And I want to tell everybody, if you want to meet the nicest person that, man, I've met east of the Mississippi for sure, come meet Tim's wife. She's amazing. Joy. Her name was given to her for the right reason. She is full of joy, I'm telling you. So anyway, thank you everybody for being here. Remember, we are here at Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your listening and viewing pleasure every week. And don't forget the secret sites to go to. Well, no, they're not secret. Local.theexperience.video is going to have everything for you. Or if you just want to sign up for our YouTube page, theexperience.video, and I'm telling you, both of those will bless you, because there's so many amazing people like Tim and Amanda there. And boy, I tell you, we'll be back next week, right, Scott?
Yep. Those sites are as secret as the secret menu at In-N-Out Burgers. If you want to get it monster style, everybody knows what that is. So local.theexperience.video has tons of information, links. I encourage everybody, sign into the YouTube channel, follow it, share it. And if you have a YouTube channel, give us a message, because we would like to follow that as well. We want to support everybody and be an encouragement. And I tell you, it's an easy way just to follow on someone's YouTube channel.
That's right. That's right. So before we go today, just a reminder for all of you, besides coming to the Experience with Life to get hope and resilience and to just live a positive life, guess what? Every morning you wake up, you have that choice. You can choose the life that you live. Sounds like a book I've heard of. And you can also live with such a good perspective, even when things around you don't look so good. You can choose that good perspective, and life is so much better when you do. So until we see you again, have an amazing rest of your week and enjoy
the experience.
There you go. See everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.